Here we go. This is, I know I build foam kayaks. It's what I love to do. I love to paddle. This is entirely out of character for me. However, I do travel a lot for work. And the most annoying thing in the world to me is being somewhere near a body of water where I don't have a kayak or any way to go paddling. So, I purchased what most people make fun of in kayaking. An inflatable kayak. My first time opening it up, as you see, I bought a nice, they come with a case. However, I just decided that a nice rolling duffel bag, since I am traveling by air, sometimes I may have to check this. This keeps it all together. I have runs for the paddle. Maybe I could even add a different paddle if I wanted to. All the gear, if the boat doesn't fold up nice and tight like it is right now. Obviously, I don't have the vacuum pump with me all the time. I can still make it fit. I can fit a life jacket in here. And I know there's been a suggestion of having a tarp put down on the ground. Because obviously once it's wet, leaves and sand and everything else, dirt, are going to stick to this. So it's a good idea. I will have a tarp and a life jacket in here in the future. I just don't have it right now. But this is the first time opening it up. So I believe this is the seat. There's the fin. Give it stability, almost like something you'd see on a paddleboard. Pretty good size. So open this up and get a good look at how it all works out here. We got a pump. Those are the cheap pumps. I'm definitely going to probably replace it with a foot pump because that has vacuum as well as pressure. And it's probably a little quicker for a boat this size. And this was a bag that wasn't that expensive. I got it at Walmart. It has a couple extra pockets for I can put my sandals and some clothes, whatever else I might want to bring with me. But I just thought that was a good idea. Let's see, it's made by Intex. If you look at my pictures on my site, I did try another brand, thinking, oh, I like the brighter color. Well, the brighter color, unfortunately, was up pitching my paddle on this fitting up here, and my elbows on this fitting back here, and I'm hoping this, being a little bit longer, works a little bit better. We'll find out. The only other advantage the other one seemed to have is that maybe it had three air chambers instead of just two. Maybe a little safer, but obviously Intex has sold a lot of these, so it can't be that bad. Like I said, I mean, this is something I expect I might use 5 to 10 times a year. Somebody that goes out paddling most of the summer, 3 or 4 times a week. This will barely see any use, so I really can't see it being any trouble, but I definitely like the idea of having a kayak that I can take with me when I'm not driving somewhere, since throwing a 12-foot kayak in an airplane, most people are usually like, there's no room for that. I even work for a company that flies free, but even still, I couldn't guarantee I could fit a 12-foot kayak in the back of the airplane most of the time, because we're moving freight to pay the bill. Oh, this one's number 2. I guess I should start with number 1. Number 1 is over here. These have a pretty good valve system. There's 2 parts to it. There's an upper and a lower. You unscrew the lower one when you want to empty the boat out of air. The upper one is just for filling. It has a valve that only allows air to go one way, which is a good idea. boat I tried too was also not a good idea for me, because it was technically only able to carry 170 pounds, which is really, I was already maxed out as soon as I got into it. I couldn't bring anything with me. And I didn't seem like it was going to sink from that, but I'd rather not take the chance on it being overloaded in any condition. This one says it'll hold 220, so I have a little bit of room to carry some luggage. Pretty sure I wouldn't use this to go camping, but for a paddle, like I said, a couple times a year. It'll shrink up a little bit when I put it in the water, because water's colder. That'll cool the air down inside and it'll shrink a little. When we do the top, so this is my first time setting this up. This is really a test run, and I'm gonna see how fast it paddles. Obviously, it's, I believe it's a 10-foot model, so not 12 feet like Sawfish. So it will be probably a little slower. I found the other one, I think it's only 9 feet. I could paddle about 3 miles an hour, which was okay. I used to go a little faster than that, but obviously a longer boat paddles faster. Design-wise, they almost look the same. So I'm definitely thinking one company copied the other. We have a seat with some Velcro sticking in place. It's got buckles, obviously. More complex than I thought. The other one, you were sitting right on the bottom of the boat. Obviously, your butt is about the lowest part, so any water you slop in, you're sitting in it. This one, I have a seat. That's always a nice thing. I'm actually surprised at how well made this boat is, considering the price they're charging it. They're selling it for. Of course, be able to buy it off of Amazon. So I get free shipping because of Amazon Prime. That's another advantage. Double acting pump that actually makes things go a little faster. There we go. Stick this in here. Stick the Velcro to hold it in place. We get these straps. Clip in the buckles down inside of the cockpit. Get a better look at that. The camera over here. So I was saying, you get your Velcro here, Velcro on the bottom of the seat, straps with the buckle on the end, and buckles right here for them to latch into. It's a pretty well thought out design for an inflatable kayak. Can't really complain. I know someone's talked about a Coleman design similar to this, but the bow curved up. These, the bow runs down. They say you tend to take some water if it's rough. But for the money, you can't complain. So we'll keep putting the rest of this back together here. beefy buckles. I don't think I'm going to break these easy. The seat does look like it'll get you up and dry. Definitely good. Easy to adjust. It's a fairly developed design for the price. I can't believe it. Some people have said they've had issues with the plastic skeg falling off. A little straight the fin. So they've suggested drilling a hole, tying it with a piece of paracord. This right here is one of the most interesting things. The other boat had it too, and I couldn't figure out where it went. Of course, I'm the type of person that reads the instructions after I can't figure it out. And this is what they give you to put in the bow as maybe a footrest. I don't know if my feet will touch that or not, but we'll see. And then we'll see what the bottom of the kayak looks like. Alright, so this is where that fin clips into. Right? Like that. That's not bad. Looks like it's probably big enough to give some good directional stability, even if it's not perfect. And I think I know a way that I can modify this to give it better stability if this isn't enough. But we'll see. I'm not going to put it on until I go to the water. I have this interesting paddle. Doesn't look too bad. I always wondered how they could get it in such short sections. Sorry about all the noise in the background. Normally it's a lot quieter here. Oh, they even give you 3 positions so you can feather. It's pretty nice. Your drip rings. The other paddle, I believe, did not have drip rings. And it had these funky screw together connectors that I could see were going to be a problem pretty quickly. Getting it apart, I may need a pair of pliers. So, I'm going to say Intex didn't do too bad with this, considering the value and the cost being fairly low. I don't know of any other way you're going to, even building a sawfish, you're not going to get into a kayak for, I want to say around $72 is what I paid for this, including the paddle. The other one did have clips for the paddle, but I kind of thought of them as a gimmick. This is not bad. $72. I see why some people keep it as their backup thing. For me, this is a travel boat. I'm going to go try it out in the water.